G'day everyone. This is a two-part series on why Tom Brady and the Bucs are going to repeat. There's so many reasons why they'll do it. That's why I need to do more than just one video. And besides, there's so many reasons for why Brady always wins.
As ridiculous as this sounds, and neither you or I would have ever imagined we'd say this, there is actually reason to believe he will be better at the age of 44 than he was last year.
Well, think about this, Greeny. He didn't really go through the Buccaneers offseason program last year. He didn't get to work with the people the way that he ordinarily would like to, even though they were having some off-site workouts. Now he's getting to do all that. Now he's got a year in Bruce Arians' offense. Now Bruce Arians understands that as good as Bruce Arians is, as smart as he is, he's smarter to hand off the play-calling preferences to Tom Brady and have Tom do what he wants out there. Now Tom understands the personnel. Now they've gotten more help. Now they've retained all their Super Bowl starters. Now they've won a Super Bowl and built up all the confidence they need to think that they'll be even better this season. And one other birthday note about Tom Brady, and it's hard to imagine that this is true, but it is. He's exactly double the age of the Jets quarterback, Zach Wilson, who turns 22 today. So Tom Brady turns 44, Zach Wilson turns 22, and Tom Brady's still at the top of his game while he's double the age of other quarterbacks in the league.
AB saying he looks better than ever right now and is playing at a speed like he was at 4 to 5 years ago. So, Shannon, do you expect Antonio Brown to be even better than he was last year with Brady?
I do, Skip, for the simple fact that, as you remember last year, Skip, he didn't come in until half the season. Yeah. And there's no kind of football shape unlike playing football. So he can do all the running you want on the track. You can do all the drills you want to. But what gets you in shape is playing football. So it took him a while to get his legs up under it. Now, Skip, he's not going to be what what BA is saying 4 to 5 years ago. In 2015, AB averaged 12 targets a game. He's not going to get that. In a 6-year span, from 2013 to 2018, he averaged 170 targets a game. He's not going to get that many targets. But we saw last year in the 8 games that he did play, he was almost 6 catches a game. So I can see him healthy, him being very, very comparable to those numbers. You project that out over 17 games, Skip, and that's a very good season. So AB is explosive. Nobody has ever questioned AB's ability. That was never, ever the issue. Him getting to the field was never the issue. It was all the things that came along with him. It was the practice, it was the meeting, it was the behavior. If Big Ben wasn't throwing him 55 targets a game, that was the problem with AB. It was the behavior, not his ability, the behavior. BA made it abundantly clear. You step out of line, you're gone. It's amazing when guys are faced with their professional mortality, how they'll behave. That's what it took. Because I hate that it took him $30 million to find this out, because that's what he lost in Oakland. $30 million that he never going to make up. But I'm glad he turned his life around and says, you know what? This game is bigger than me.
I think a big part of AB changing and being able to gel with the team is due to Tom Brady. If you've seen how much respect AB has for Brady and the things that he's prepared to do for Brady, is completely different to how he is to Big Ben. I don't know the situation with AB, Big Ben and the Steelers, but I do know that players that have played with Brady absolutely love him. They don't just respect him, which they all do, they really, really love him. When have you ever heard a player who's played with Brady say anything but good words for him? I've posted videos of James Harrison, one of the greatest Steelers ever, literally saying he went to the Pats hating Brady and looking for more reasons to hate him. And within a week, he loves the guy. He loves him. And I suspect it's one of the biggest reasons why AB is doing as well as he is. On a side note, I think a lot of people who get into trouble and lose their way just need an authoritative figure that's patient and genuinely loves and cares for them. I think if they see that, they'd walk through fire for that person. And I think AB is one of those people. He's found that caring leader in Tom Brady. That's the type of thing money can't buy. AB proved that. He left $30 million on the table. The Steelers, the Raiders, they couldn't give that to him. Not for $30 million, not for any amount of money. As materialistic as this world has become, what was it that Brady could give AB that money couldn't buy? Think about it. How many other teams in the NFL can inspire, motivate, and galvanize players the way Brady can? You can't touch it. You can't see it. It's invisible, but the players can feel it. And us fans see the results. Look at the results, guys. Ignore all these pundits with their vitriol and constant obsession with money. If AB stayed with the Steelers or the Raiders, would he look forward to going to work every day? Would he be happy with himself every day? And in turn, he'd be more kind and nicer to the people around him, which then make them happy and feeds back into his happiness. That's worth much more than whatever money he gave up. And on top of that, he has a Super Bowl ring to show for it as well.
There's a name we haven't even mentioned in this conversation that I know you think is going to wind up playing a significant role for the Bucs this year with all the stars they have, and that's O.J. Howard.
That's right, Green. He only played 4 games last year. We're talking about why can Tampa Bay be better? O.J. Howard. You think about those great Patriot offenses, the Gronkowski, the Hernandezes of the world. O.J. Howard has as much ability as any of them, and if he's healthy, you're going to take a team that has all these outside threat screening and Godwin and Edwards, Antonio Brown, and someone like O.J. Howard, if he's healthy, it's going to make this Buccaneer offense even better.
They're loaded. I mean, that team is as loaded as any team has come into an NFL season in a very long time.
And let me seize the opportunity to play with the GOAT.
Yeah, and get a championship.
That's what I'm saying. So I loved everything I heard from Antonio Brown yesterday because most of his troubles are now behind him. Does that mean he's an angel? No, he's not.
No.
And is he 1 inch away from going over the edge again? We know, we've seen it too often. But I do believe that Tom Brady has been good for him, and he's been good for Tom Brady because they have some kind of rapport.
They do.
They have a mutual trust that exhibited itself early on last year because, to your point, he walks in not in football shape. And if you look at what happened over the last 8 games of the regular season, he averaged, well, he had 62 total targets a game. That's 8 targets a game.
Yeah.
8 targets a game. His 62 were only 1 short of Mike Evans' 63 targets over the last 8 games of the year. So all of a sudden, he's right at the top of the list.
Right.
And his catches were the most on the team over the last 8 games. He had 45 balls that he caught to 40 for Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin also had 40.
Right.
So you think they were looking sideways like, gee, you know, I thought we were pretty good, and all of a sudden this guy's catching more balls than we are?
Skip, he makes everybody better because now who you see, because you see Mike Evans was a little gimpy. Watch Mike Evans this year if he's 100% healthy.
Oof. Well, speaking of 100% healthy, the point that Bruce Arians was making was that AB had never had a surgery in his life, and this knee was nagging him down the stretch last year. And finally, at New Orleans in the playoff game, it went. He tore the cartilage. He missed the whole NFC Championship game at Green Bay. He missed it. He came back limpy and gimpy for the Super Bowl and managed to catch the 1-yard touchdown pass, which is, you know, Tom says, I'm going to get you one. I'll get you something. But Bruce Arians is saying that after the surgery that he desperately needed, it was just a cartilage, it was an arthroscopic cleanup, okay? He says he's playing at a speed, as Jenny read, he's playing at a speed that we saw 4 or 5 years ago. Well, if that's true, then Tom Brady's going to have the closest thing to Randy Moss he's had since Randy Moss. If he's actually playing much faster than we saw him play last year, look out.
Skip, he has that quick twitch. He has that herky-jerky because he started his career as a punt returner. And so he understands how to operate because not only can he play inside, I mean, the slot, he can go outside. So you can do so many different things with him. You can move him and put him in motion. And you're hard-pressed to get your hands on him at the line of scrimmage. That's what makes him so difficult. And you see, AB was AB.
That all sounds good, and I think it's in his heart right now. Can he embrace that all year long when he has an off game or whatever, he doesn't get as many balls as he think he should? Well, we'll see. But I think because he's with Brady, he has a chance to be very special this year.
Tom Brady turns 44 years old. He was born in 1977, the year Hotel California came out. This year, he'll become the 4th quarterback in the Super Bowl era to start a game at the age of 44. Testaverde, Moon, and DeBerg are the only ones ever to do it before. He's won more playoff games in his 40s than 5 other active NFL franchises have won in their history. He's 13 years older, or excuse me, he's older than 13 current NFL head coaches. Since he was drafted, 5,410 different players have been drafted into the league. And here he is at the age of 44. And so, Dan, the question, and we've all been waiting to see if this thing slows down. Can he, at the age of 44, what do you mean, yes? I haven't even asked the question.
Doesn't matter. Whatever you ask me with Tom Brady and you start with can he, my answer is yes. I don't care what the question is because I've never seen Tom Brady not do it. I've never seen Tom Brady not accomplish something. And so if your question for me is, can Tom Brady go be a supermodel? Sure. Can Tom Brady climb Mount Everest? Sure. Can Tom Brady go be better at quarterback? Sure. Can Tom Brady come and be really good on get up? Sure. I don't care what it is. So my answer is automatically going to be yes. I don't know if he'd be as good breaking down tape. But yeah, my answer is yes. Anything he wants to do, he'll do.
Anyone who's been following Tom would certainly agree with what Dan Orlovsky said. When have you seen Brady not accomplish what he sets his mind to? How many people has he proven wrong? The only time I've seen Brady fall off a cliff was when he jumped off a cliff. That's it for part 1. I'll have more videos on why Tom Brady and the Bucs will repeat. So please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you for watching.